Just want to show you something that I personally find quite annoying. It seems to be happening every month. Don't you just hate it when companies that own apps on your computer decide to do some updates every so often and change everything? For instance, if you look at, hopefully you can see where I'm pointing. No, you can't, because there we go. Now you can. So that's Pinnacle 26. That's the that's my editing software. Now my icon is never there, and also above it, Learn Pinnacle. Well, I don't need to learn Pinnacle. I've had Pinnacle for 20 odd years. I know enough about it, enough to get me by. You only get that Learn Pinnacle app if it's been reinstalled, and I haven't reinstalled this at all. And also the app usually sits behind the red screwdriver. It sits there. There we go. So that's where that belongs. I'll move the red screwdriver for you, because I know that will annoy the hell out of you. So I can only gather, and I'm going to delete this, that every so often they still feel the need to to update it, and without my permission. I just wish there'd be I don't want any more updates on this, to be honest with you, because every time they update it, something goes wrong, or a feature's not there. And it annoys the heck out of me. But anyway, I just wondered if anybody else suffers with that. Not necessarily a Pinnacle Studio 26, because I think I'm the only person in the world that has Pinnacle Studio 26. But you switch on your PC sometimes, and it looks like someone's been mucking around with it. Or is it just me, and at the tender age of 61 and a big bit, how am I getting conspiracy theories now? Or is Misty because the power to the shed is here 24 hours a day, especially in the winter, because I leave the heater on for Misty, the cat. There's a chance that she's probably doing some Googling overnight. I'm going to be doing a voiceover most of the night, because I've let the batteries run flat on my DJI lapel microphone type thing. I can run that microphone with it plugged in as it's charging up, but it makes a bit of a squealing and a hissing noise. And every time I do that, there's always somebody in the comments that say, "There's a squealing and a hissing noise, and I don't like it." And they speak just like that. So I am not going to speak. I've plugged this microphone in, and I'm not going to. Well, we'll let Misty do all the speaking. But anyway, we'll have a look at the TV that I'm playing with tonight. This is the model number UE50JU6800, and the guy says it's got no picture. Now this is leaving me a little bit nervous, because these never suffered with backlights that fail, as in not come on. The lenses normally fall off, and these turn blue. This was one of Panasonic, have a drink. This was one of Samsung's first 4K TVs. Still a smart TV, still a really nice TV, but I obviously can't see any backlights. They're just not there. But I still can't see an image. So I'm trying to test with this torch, and I'm switching the TV on and off. And I'm not seeing it. Normally when it comes on, you see a smart TV or a Samsung TV splash logo, and then you see the stuff at the top. And at the moment, I'm just not seeing it, man. Ah, now I am. It's there. That was a Netflix icon. Yeah, you can see it there. Okay. Well, that took longer than it should have done. So the backlights are not working. Could we have another backlight driver situation? Because, as I say, these normally stay working. They just turn blue, and the picture goes a bit on the dark side. And the customer did state that the picture had started to go a bit dark down one side. It's a mystery. I'm not convinced it's backlights on this yet. I'm just a little bit surprised that we're not getting any backlights on these. I don't remember this particular model ever having failing backlights. They usually just went blue or dark and dismal, and there'd normally be some left. The customer did say there was a dark patch on a corner of the TV when it was working, but he was okay with that. So maybe too many backlights have gone out, but I've never known that before. They just turn blue and they stay on until the last one dies. So I'm a bit suspicious, but I'm not getting any backlight at all. There's nothing lighting up. And I've got a set of backlights for this right behind me, so I've got the back of it. I might as well just continue. This was just going to be a diagnosis video. I haven't spoken to the customer about costs or anything like that, but it is what? 3 minutes to 10 at night. I'm not going to call him now. He seemed keen enough on the phone, so I'll just call him up tomorrow and say, well, if I can fix it, if it is the backlights, I'll just call him up and say, it's done, you owe me X amount of pounds, and hopefully he's not going to argue. I've never known a customer do that, to be honest with you. I'm not the most expensive in the world, but I'm still not convinced it's just the backlights, but it must be. It can't be anything else. I don't think this power supply has failed. It could be the driver again. But to be honest with you, let's say it is the driver on the power supply that's gone, just like the last Samsung we did a couple of days ago, I would recommend replacing the backlights anyway, because he said that they were starting to fail. So it's not good practice giving the customer a TV back with dodgy backlights that could fail in the next couple of months, and my name's going to be mud. And I do have spares for this. I will have a power supply, I will have a mainboard, I will have a T-Con hiding away somewhere in the lockup, but maybe it is just in desperate need of a brand new set, a clean set of backlights. So let's just stick those in and see what happens. By the time I've stuck those in, I will speed it up, of course, but by the time I've stuck those in and made a cup of tea, hopefully my other microphone would have charged up and we can communicate like a civilized society. Oh, we're not a civilized society anymore, are we? No, it's all going to hell. never really a big job taking the screen off this one. There are loads of tabs and cuffs down the side, so you have to be a little bit careful and a bit gentle, which is why the gloves came off. Or is it the gloves came on? One of the two. Anyway, I'm sure I've explained this before. This is a quantum dot television, which means it's got lots of backlights, and it has so well backlit. I'm just going to get my backlight tester, and we'll have a look at the bottom strip and see what's going on. So the bottom strip should start to light up now. Oh. Wow, just 4. Okay. And they're not blue. Very strange. It's just those 4 that are working. Well, it's pointless testing the rest of them, because even if the rest were perfect, that's going to stop the TV from coming on. Quite surprising, never seen that before, but there's a first time for everything. So now it means taking out all of these screen supports, which is normally very easy, taking off the surround at the back, the reflector sheet, and then taking the backlights out. Also, I don't know if I've explained, because I'm doing a voiceover and I've also been speaking while doing the repair. I'm probably repeating myself an awful lot, but the TV only came in for repair today. Now, normally there's a good... I can inspect the TV, and that's what this is supposed to be. This is just supposed to be a diagnosis video. But spookily, just by coincidence, literally a couple of feet behind me, I've got a box full of backlights for this particular TV. So it seems pointless now we've come this far not to stick some backlights in. So I'm just double checking because if I haven't got the backlights here, if I have to go down to the lockup, which I ain't going to be doing at this time of night at 20 minutes past 10, but if these fit, and at the moment... I'm just testing it on the top set so you can see they look like the ones. So I'll speed it up and we'll stick them in. This is how you remove the LEDs. Yes, I am using a flat head screwdriver because this is the perfect size to do it. I always make sure, as I'm sure you know, that the backlights are not plugged in, so if there is a capacitor holding a charge, well, it's not now anyway. But that's how you remove them. Just press it down and pull it out. Okay, that's it. The old ones are out, the new ones are in. I'm just plugging in and switching on to see if they're all going to come on. There may be some screen flicker if they come on. There may be some screen flicker if they come on. There we go. Knew I'd get there eventually. I was just lining it up for the camera. And they're all perfect and they're lovely. So it's now just time to reassemble. How much of me reassembling, I don't know. My microphone should be charged up very soon, so we'll cross back over. But I have to say, do you? You don't really. I have to say, it. Yeah, and the other thing it's worth noting, I don't know if you can see, but the screen supports that I'm just putting back in here, they look a little bit off colour, don't they? I wouldn't say it's come from a smoker's house because everything else is perfect, but these just look a little bit off colour, and this one is the one that broke. It snapped. All the rest have gone in okay, they've been fine, so I'm just going looking for, in my little box of plenty, another screen support. It doesn't have to go back, but I just like... if I know I've got spares, stick them in. I just want to switch on to make sure we've got even coverage. And we have. Yeah, that is fine. If that's looking a bit blue to you in places, it's just a reflection of all the other lights I've got above that are doing that. I've got two other Samsung TV screens above reflecting down, while I've got one that's reflecting up. That actually looks very nice, thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. There we go. Always need to double check that it's in. Because that quite wasn't. And if I'd have... that corner there was not in correctly. You can't see. But this little bit here, you still can't see. Cool, why is my workshop being smaller there? I just got that overlapping slightly, and that could have damaged the screen once I put the top back on. You cannot spend too much time on getting the screen in. And to be honest with you, the rest of the assembly was not necessarily a struggle, but you had to fettle with everything. But if you think that this TV is 10 years old now, and it's been on and off and on and off every day for the last 10 years, then plastics will have warped and things would have changed. Right, switch some lights out. Switch it on. Well, that bit looks okay, but that's just the middle bit. Because I had a bit of a struggle getting everything back, I'm a little bit nervous. This TV's got tabs down the side, and I've noticed a bit of information missing on the bottom right-hand side there, and I'm thinking... Do I have some missing? I know what that is. Oh, don't tell me. No. Okay, that's fine. I just thought for a second that we'd got some information missing down here. I think I'm looking for a problem tonight, aren't I? So at times like this, you can't beat a good old-fashioned Samsung screen test in the menu, just to make sure that everything's okay. It's easy to find. That is pretty darn perfect. Pretty darn perfect. I was a bit nervous of that, if I'm being honest. And the audio is working. Okay. And I've switched my monitors off because they are also a Samsung TV. They are nice 4K TVs, and just not the easiest. For some particular reason, at reassembling, it's all a bit fiddly putting it back together again. A lot of TVs are, but I just didn't expect this to be. And I'm not going to have a go at Samsung for this because I have plenty of goes at Samsungs, and these are nice. You can repair these. And I've taken my time tonight, but it still wasn't what I call a perfect repair where everything goes back fine and screws go into place. It didn't happen, and I got a little bit nervous about it. But the customer should be very happy because he only dropped this TV off today, and it was only because I got a set of backlights for it literally 2 feet behind me that I've done the repair. Otherwise, it would have been on the list and taken 2 or 3 days. But I was here. The backlights were here, the TV was here, my other jobs have been done for the day, so, and it's not late, well, it's almost 11 at night, so I suppose it is late, but it has been done. But I'm working late tonight. I'm going to be in here till 1 o'clock. I've got some emails to do, and I'm going to do them in here, and have a cup of tea and a cup of coffee. So thank you for spending your, what day is it? Well, you're probably watching this on Boxing Day, but it is, well, it says the date there, doesn't it? Tuesday, March 18th. Thank you for spending your Tuesday night. Well, bearing in mind this won't be thrown up to YouTube until the early hours of Wednesday. But I'm sure the customer is going to be happy with this. It's not going to be an expensive fix. And it's one of those TVs that is worth spending some money on. And I think the customer agreed when we spoke last week, or at the beginning, and it must have been last week. There was something, he liked this TV. It may have some sentimental value, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's done. And I thank you. And what is it Patrick McGowan always used to say in The Prisoner? Be seeing you.